case is odd in that there had been prior DSS intervention in this case. The defendant was under an order not to have been taking care of the child on his own. At any time that he was to be with the child, there was supposed to be some other guardian there to assist. But that is obviously not what happened on this particular day. He told the officers in the initial interview that they had with him at around 7 o'clock or so he ate dinner, and shortly after that he lay down and laid the baby down next to him on the bed and fell asleep because he was very drunk. He said after that, the next thing he remembered was when Mandy came home from work around a little around 11:20 or so, when she was getting home from Walmart. That when she was arriving home, she was banging on the door. He wouldn't answer because he couldn't wake up. He was too intoxicated. She said to the police that she ultimately went to the baby's window and was banging on it, and then climbed through the window because she left it unlocked in case she needed to come through the window. She went through. She checked at that point and found that the defendant had apparently at some point someone laid on top of the baby. What she initially told police that the baby was face down and had suffocated at that point, was not alive. And they called 911 to meet someone, and they were 5 or 6 hours later, had the defendant submit to a tox screen. He did that willingly, and the tox screen did come back that he had a large amount of marijuana in the system, and that he still even at that point had 0.055 alcohol level in his blood.
First obligation of the law is to protect people who simply cannot protect themselves. Okay? And the court's role in that, at times it involves institutions like DSS. At times when this court gets involved, the only thing that I can do is try to send a message so that other people don't suffer what your daughter suffered from. Okay, Mr. White? But I'm a firm believer that the court must protect people who cannot protect themselves, such as your child. It's clear to me that just being around that child because of your alcoholism, because of the drug use, Mr. White, you posed a clear and imminent danger to that child just by being around her. And I know that you are punishing yourself. But in light of everything that I've heard today, in light of the helpless nature of this child, what I've decided to do, Mr. White, is that on indictment 2029, since the court is that you committed to the Department of Corrections 5 years, that's the involuntary manslaughter charge. This will be concurrent with probation violation. You will receive credit for 164 days in jail. On indictment 14-2030, that's the unlawful neglect of a child. The sentence of the court is 10 years. The unlawful neglect charge will be served consecutively to the involuntary manslaughter charge. So you have 15 years to serve, Mr. White. You receive credit for 164 days on each charge. I'm ordering that you be screened for the Addictions Treatment Unit while you're in the Department of Corrections. Pursuant to South Carolina law, you will have to be placed on the Central Registry of Child Abuse and Neglect. Mr. White, I am truly sorry for this tragedy. I wish you luck, sir.